Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden NFL 23 defensive tips video breakdown, going to take a look at how to delay blitz while in control of another defender in pass coverage. So this one's going to be a kind of a cool breakdown here because it's something you can do that's going to give you another defensive tool that's going to allow you to put some pressure on the quarterback without actually having to manually blitz. So let's go ahead and take a look at it here, and I'll show you how to set this one up. And I'm going to go ahead and get right on to it. And what I'm going to do here is, first thing is, I want to go into the coaching adjustments. Now, in some of the videos I've been breaking down for you over the last, few weeks or few months here, I've been talking about putting the zone drops into zero, setting them to zero. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Now, keep in mind, I am not going to manually pass rush this. So we're going to set this to zero right now. I want to show you guys this. I think it is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and go into this formation right here. It's called nickel double mug. Now, the defense I'm going to run is called the mid blitz zero. And this is a pretty nice defense as it is. You can get some pressure off the edge and it comes in pretty quick. But I want to show you how to do a delay blitz while you're in control of another defender that's in pass coverage. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll call that one. And then on the offensive side of things, let's run this one from the gun tight flex called cross. It's going to be out of the Rams playbook. So to set this up, it's real simple to do. And what I'm going to recommend here is to go ahead and slant the defensive line out. And then you want to go ahead and go into QB contain. Now, you don't have to do the QB contain if you don't want to. The reason I'm going to do this is I want to make sure the quarterback does not roll out away from where the pressure is going to come from. The next thing you want to do is you're going to switch to this guy right here on your screen, which is going to be one of the linebackers. This is going to be to the right side or to the left side as you're looking at the screen. You're going to go ahead and put him into QB spy. So let's go ahead and put him in QB spy. And then you want to switch to this other linebacker as you look at your screen right here. And you're going to go ahead and put him in a mid read. So let's go ahead and put him in a mid read as you look at it. Now, at this point, you want to take control of the defender who's covering a running back in most cases, at least I like to. And also go ahead and call press coverage. And one other last thing, I do have this on base of line, so my defense is set to base of line. So that's really it as far as a setup. Now, I'm going to go ahead and snap the ball. And I know what you guys are thinking. You only got a 4-man pass rush, Cobra. How am I going to get this pressure? Well, I'm going to get some A-gap pressure, and it's going to come in fairly good. And I'll show you how it works here. So let's go ahead and run this. And then we're just going to go ahead and blitz these guys like that. And you notice right there, I got the pressure. Now, I didn't actually go out there and cover the running back like I should have, but I just wanted to show you how that works. And all I'm doing right there is really, honestly, as you go ahead and look at this, just go back into instant replay here. All I'm doing here on the screen here, as you watch here, is I am tapping down the right stick. So I'm tapping this down. I mean, I'm literally hammering it. I'm just keep on hammering it. And right after the ball snapped. Now, what I'm looking for this really to work is this guy right here, this center. What I need him to do is look to block, and hopefully he'll look to block in this direction here. If he blocks this way, it's fine. You might only get one defender in, but if he blocks over this way and starts committing to this area here, a lot of times you're going to end up getting both of these guys that are going to apply the pressure on a quarterback on a delayed blitz, such as what you just saw on your screen here. So let's go ahead and look at this again. See how he right there, as you look at it, how the center looks over towards the right. So right now he's looking towards the right, doesn't block anybody initially. And then as soon as he slides out to go ahead and help block out over towards the right side, that's when I start actually tapping down this right thing. Now, I'm actually tapping it down a little before that. I know I said right after the ball snapped, but I am tapping it down fairly quickly after the ball snapped. And then right there, they come after the quarterback, as you can see, and then they apply the pressure on the quarterback coming up the A-gap there, which is pretty nice because you get a delayed blitz. And the cool thing about this one is, remember we talked about putting these guys in QB contain on the outside here as you look at it. So we're going to go ahead and put these guys in QB contain to keep this quarterback from rolling out. We don't want him to roll out. We want him to try to step up into the pocket where this blitz is coming at, up the gut. That's the idea behind it. So let's go ahead and do this one more time. Now, the other thing is, you were looking at that, you notice I didn't get to the running back, but make sure you cover the running back as he's coming out of the backfield. If he stays in the pass block, then you have a couple choices. You don't have to start hammering down on the right stick. What you can go ahead and do This just allows those guys to play, drop back in their coverages. Or if you want, you can still try to blitz them. Hopefully one of them will get through and the running back won't block them. Let's go back in this one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and run this defense one more time here as we look at it. So back into this nickel double mug, mid blitz zero. Now you can do this from a lot of other defenses. You're just going to have to go into the lab and playing around with it. I just started messing with this today. I just started looking at it. I'm like, hey, this is something else we can try to do here. So I really haven't had a lot of time with it, but I did want to go ahead and share it. So I'm going to go ahead and go press coverage here. Spread it. Go ahead and slant the defensive line out. Go ahead and call QB contain. Take control of these guys right here. Again, these linebackers. You're going to go ahead and put him in the QB spy. This guy into the mid third, and then I'm going to take control of this the safety right here covering the running back. So we're going to see what happens this time. See if we can get that same type of pressure here. So let's go ahead and snap the ball, and we'll see what we get here. See right there, we got that delayed blitz, and we get that same type of heat coming on the quarterback. So this is something you can definitely do that's going to allow you to bring some inside pressure, and it surprisingly works real well because, like I said, all we're trying to do is prevent that quarterback from rolling out, and once he doesn't roll out, if he tries to step up in the pocket like a lot of players are doing this year, they don't want to drop too far back, so they're afraid of getting sacked. This will help prevent that because you're going to end up getting this double A gap pressure. Now, I can't promise you're always going to get the double A gap pressure, but I can tell you this, almost always you'll get at least one of these guys in pretty consistently doing this, what I'm showing here. So again, you can see right there, and this time as you look deep down the field here, you can see I went over here and manually covered the running back like I was supposed to. Now, there's one other thing I want to point out here. Let's roll this back just a little bit right here. I realize that a lot of guys, I've seen some guys talk about this online that, a lot of times when this quarterback rolls out, and then what they'll do is what they suggested is once they get to the outside of the box, start tapping down that right stick, and the defender closest to the quarterback will come after them. That's kind of where I got the idea here is, but rather than doing it when the quarterback rolls out, I'm doing it before he rolls out, which allows us to happen. Now, I know what you're thinking. The other thing is, remember the closest defender to the quarterback. Well, as you look at it, these are two defenders that are closest. That's why I have one set to zero on the hook zones and one set to QB spy, because I do not want some other defender that's coming across. For example, say I didn't have this set up this way, and this receiver is coming across on his crossing route, and then maybe these guys are, they're blitzing like earlier. They went ahead and blitzed earlier at the quarterback into here, right? So this guy came in here and this guy came here. Well, what's going to happen is if I start tapping down that button when they're already up near the line of scrimmage, and remember, they're not in any kind of zone coverage or playing QB spy, they're blitzing. So what's going to happen is, for example, this guy would be the next closest guy to the quarterback. He's going to end up now rushing the quarterback, and I don't want him to rush the quarterback. So the reason for that is, the way I got this set up, it prevents that from happening, because you got these two guys are always going to be the closest to the line of scrimmage, and so you're always going to get this to work. So I hope that this defensive tip is something that you can use or at least go play around with. It's another tool. I try to think outside the box and really try to show you guys some different things rather than what the meta is and all that stuff. I try to bring some other stuff that maybe you haven't seen. So hopefully this is another defensive tip that'll allow you to, go into the lab and work with it and see what you guys can do with it. If you find something good with it, please post a comment about it or send me an email or whatever, and maybe I can do a breakdown on that. So again, guys, I appreciate you guys watching the video breakdown.